The girl took her biological parents to court, but the reason behind action was rather unusual. Her father, in her eyes, treated her exceedingly well. Despite this, she harbored a deep desire to live with her mother. As the hearing progressed, the judge was intrigued and raised a question: why the sudden change of heart? Previously, it was clear that the girl preferred her father's company. The revelation was surprising. Her father was a successful businessman, owning a company that provided a comfortable life. Her mother, on the other hand, lived a modest life, lacking the financial stability her father offered. The girl believed that her mother needed her more, and this notion sparked her decision to switch households. Her father, witnessing his daughter's firm resolve to live with her mother, did not express anger or resentment. Instead, he was consumed by guilt. He decided to discreetly transfer a substantial amount of money, $500 million, and even a company to his ex-wife as a form of compensation for the years gone by. Unbeknownst to him, this generous gesture was a lifeline for both his ex-wife and daughter. The mother's life was fraught with challenges. Upon her divorce, she informed her own family, anticipating support. However, the reaction she received was far from supportive. Her family, fearing the loss of property post-divorce, had already transferred the ownership of her house to her brother. This action was a betrayal that left her in disbelief. When the woman returned to her family home, the atmosphere was tense. She was greeted by the sound of arguments resonating within the walls, a familiar, albeit unpleasant, sound. Summoning her courage, she knocked on the door. Her family, rather than welcoming her with open arms, met her with indifference and blame. "If you're divorced, fine, but why bring back a burden?" they chided. Her daughter, witnessing this treatment, valiantly defended her mother. Yet, the woman silenced her daughter, unwilling to engage in a fruitless argument. She retreated to her room, seeking solace. What awaited her was a scene of disarray. Her bed was in shambles. Anger simmered beneath the surface as she questioned her mother about the state of her belongings. Her mother hastily explained, claiming she needed the room for her grandson. The woman did not press further, but when she discovered her possessions carelessly discarded in a corner, her composure shattered. In a fit of rage, she grabbed her nephew's toy and smashed it to the ground. This act was a cathartic release of pent-up frustration and a realization of her family's true nature. The woman confronted her family, declaring, "You don't deserve my kindness." She flung gifts to the floor, expressions of her past generosity now tarnished by betrayal. Her mother, pained, gathered the gifts, admonishing her for immaturity. The woman's younger brother attempted to mediate, but his efforts were thwarted by his wife's incessant complaints. The father intervened, putting an end to the chaotic scene. During dinner, the mother addressed the woman sharply, instructing her to cease causing turmoil. "Every time you argued with your husband, he always brought expensive gifts to apologize," she pointed out. The family's priorities were clear. Material wealth overshadowed genuine happiness. Understanding her family's true motivations, the woman revealed her divorce. Her brother's fury erupted at the revelation, for her financial independence had been a source of his own comfort. His anger was palpable as he accused her of disregarding their feelings. Unperturbed, the woman declared her intention to stay in the house permanently. Yet, her mother's reaction was callous. Rather than empathy, she offered public scorn, accusing her daughter of being useless and abandoned for failing to bear a son. The hostility was unbearable, leaving the woman with no choice but to find refuge elsewhere. She requested the house key from her mother, but her family responded with a guilty, oppressive silence.